MSU on three. 1, 2, 3.
MSU.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the fall 2021 edition of the Coaches Show with Lionhead football coach Tim Clifton. We said fall edition because, well, if you remember, we had a few games back in the spring, but now we begin to settle into what we hope is going to be a routine. But, Coach, you and I know we don't do many routines anymore and with the world of COVID, do we?
No, it's amazing what we're going through again. I thought we had gone past this in the spring, but right now I'm not sure with the new variants that we have that it's not moving faster and quicker through our team than it did in the spring.
And you can multiply that through, it's not just our university, just nationwide. Everyone has challenges with that of making sure their young people are safe and making sure we can take care of that first and foremost, because that's always at the top of the list. Kind of introduce you to where we are this season. Had one home game on a Thursday night. Gosh, we've got to go back a long time in the fall for that. Now, we did it in the spring some on Friday nights, but it's been a long time since we've had a Thursday night game. It's great to have students in the stands.
It was awesome to have everybody
Huge
back.
difference.
And I thought we had a great crowd. I thought, especially in the fourth quarter, I thought sort of like the team, they rose to the occasion and got into it. But I thought it was a great atmosphere on Thursday night.
And more opportunities for that this week. We're at home on Thursday, and then we start our regular Saturday session of games on the 18th of September. First league action will be that against UVA Wise, then on the road at Lenore Ryan on the 25th of September. But, Coach, overview from kind of the 10,000-foot view, we've got 7 home games this season, which is one of those things that I would say in a normal year that's great, but knowing all the things we have to do behind the scenes to make sure we can have those games, it's a big burden for you guys to take care of all the particulars, and I'm not sure people really have an appreciation for that. I get to see it on a daily basis, but it is a lot of work, ladies and gentlemen, and hats off to you, you coaching staff, our athletic training staff. We've got a lot of good folks, and it shows.
Yeah, they do a great job, and the baseball team does a great job at helping us on game day, and and Adam and everybody that has to get involved, and you as well, and people have to sacrifice some time to get you ready to play a football game, because there's so much that goes into playing a game, especially on a Thursday night. But I thought we did a great job. I thought the university did a great job on Thursday night, and I'm looking forward to playing again on Thursday night. And it's been like since 2007 since we've had one of those kind of games. And but I really think the students enjoy it, and I thought the weather was really perfect too.
And it looks like it's just going to be a replay this Thursday night. It's supposed to be mid-50s, upper 60s, somewhere in that range, which is perfect football weather.
Yeah, it is. I like anything from between the 60s and 70s. And some people say, it's snowy, it's rainy, it's cold. That's football weather, but not really. I mean, really football weather is 70 degrees and nice, But I thought it was great, and we're looking forward to it again this Thursday.
Last week, we went up against Chowan. They came into town for a first. I do believe that's the first time we have played them, certainly with us as a Division II school. And they had, I think most of last year, they were off in terms of COVID all the way through. And so first time back with them. A lot of big guys. I kept watching them get off the bus, and I think they got progressively larger as they got off the bus.
They had some good-looking guys. I mean, they did. They had, especially on defensive line, they had some really good-looking guys, and they played extremely well on the defensive line. I think that was the strength of their team, along with their quarterback. I think and we knew coming in the quarterback was going to be a strength, because he'd really been a good player in 19, and all he had all of spring practice to continue to get better, and we knew he was going to be a real good player Coming in, we knew they had one or two defensive linemen. We didn't have any film on them. I mean, they didn't play in 20, and they didn't play in the fall or the spring. Now they practiced, but they didn't play. So we didn't have any game film on them. So you didn't know until we found out Wednesday the depth chart, basically. So, but I thought they were really strong up front on defense.
You mentioned they didn't play last season. We talked about that a little bit. From a preparation standpoint, kind of walk everybody through, okay, normally when we have video on a team, you do this, this, and this. But in this particular case, didn't play last year, didn't have that. What difference does that look like in terms of prep for not only the coaches, but then that carries over in prep for the players?
Well, I think personnel has a lot to do with it. You don't really know what their personnel is, and then the other thing is they had a new coach, so you don't really know exactly what they're going to do X and O. You have a little bit of an idea, but without actual film, without actual taking the time and breaking it down, you're going to be moving on the run. Is what you have to do. And it doesn't mean people don't change a little bit during the year, but usually they're going to stay steady to what their base is on offense, what their base is on defense.
Ended up going to overtime against Chowan. What were some good things that you saw coming out, even though we were on the kind of the wrong side of the scoreboard? What did you see in terms of building block opportunities for this team, at least, with one game out of the way? And I know it's hard to start assembling all those parts and pieces, but one game out of the way, what did you have as a takeaway from that?
Well, I thought we played extremely hard in the fourth quarter. I thought our guys responded. They didn't fold, when we got down. And I thought we made a big stop on defense with about 1:40 left or whatever, and then the offense responded and went down and scored, and we made the extra point to tie the game, and I felt pretty good about it. I can't remember losing an overtime game in a long time here, and so I felt real good about it. I thought we blocked the extra point in overtime. I thought that was going to open the gate for us, but we didn't execute as well. We executed 2 drives before that, but I really thought our kids responded and came back. I thought we were flat in the first quarter. I didn't think we played with a whole lot of energy in the first quarter, but I thought midway through the third, through the fourth quarter, I thought we played extremely well.
And you talk about that energy, looking back, and you and I have talked off camera a lot about it. There were some of even our young people that, for it being a fall portion of football, which is the norm, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't keep up with that, it's the fall portion of football. A lot of these guys, they hadn't taken a snap in the fall since, 2019?
Yeah, we had a lot of freshmen playing, and they didn't play in 20, and neither did we, but some of those guys, their last season will fall in 19. When you look at the high school guys, and so it was an adjustment early, but we had enough vets, so we should have come out ready to play a little earlier than we did. But I think, and I told them at halftime, you're gonna find out what kind of team you're made of. Right here is when you're facing adversity, when you're down, that's when you find out what your team's made of.
We're going to step away, be back with the Tim Clifton Show right after this.
Mars Hill University, helping you move your mountain.
Mars Hill University gives me plenty of degrees to choose from.
At MHU, I get the attention I deserve.
MHU keeps me close to home, and there's tons to do in the mountains.
Over 60 courses of study, small class settings, a breathtaking campus. These are just a few examples of how MHU can help you start moving your mountain. Visit us today at mhu.edu. Mars Hill University, education that moves mountains.
Welcome back to the Lion Coaching Show with Mars Hill University head football coach Tim Clifton. I'm Stuart Jolley. Coach, going into Thursday night's contest, we have the University of Virginia-Lynchburg, and I've seen it Virginia University at Lynchburg, and I've seen it as Virginia-Lynchburg College. They are the Dragons.
Right.
First thing we know, we've never had Dragons in this stadium, so we have a team that's titled the Dragons coming in. Again, one of those teams that we probably don't know a lot about.
Yeah, I mean we do have game film. They did play UVA Wise, and so we have game film on them, and we have opportunity to look at them. But again, it's not a team that we've played in and out over the years, and it's not a team that we've built any kind of rivalry or relationship with. So we're looking forward to it. We got a chance to come back home and play again, and we got a chance to come out and I don't know if you redeem yourself. You just come out and try to get better as a team, and you take care of what you can do. And we need to take care of what we're good at and get better at what we're good at.
In preparation for a game I've got coming up on Thursday, and coming off of a loss, what are the things that you have to put behind you that from being a veteran head coach? It may just be early on in the year, but these things will come back and bite you after a loss. Particularly, we've only had one game, and it was a tough one in overtime. So what do you prep these young people for in terms of, okay, guys, we're done with this, let's play?
Yeah, I think we came back out and practiced on Saturday, and we reviewed our mistakes, and then we watched the film. And when we finished the film, you put it on the shelf and you go to the next week. There's nothing you can do about last week, and you just go over the mistakes and you go over the things that you want to improve on. The other thing is, I think we figured out we got to come out with high energy, and we got to come out and play from the beginning of the whistle, and those are the things that we've got to correct. And we also got to correct. We had some starters out, and we'll get some back. And when you get those guys back, they didn't get the game preparation of last week, so now they got to get back into the swing of things. And I think getting those guys back will help. But I think the main thing is the hardest thing for coaches sometimes and for the players is to put the game on the shelf and go to the next one. And I think that's where NFL guys are better than college guys. They know you got to go to the next one. And young guys have got to learn that. They've got to learn that, hey, you move on. All you can worry about is the one you got coming up. And you can't look back and you can't look ahead. And I know coaches say that all the time, but that's about as true as you can get. You gotta work on what's coming ahead. And for us, we got to get better at what we do and become who we got to become. And I think we can do that. But I think it doesn't matter who the opponent is. We got to get better at what we do, and we got to excel in what we want to excel in, and get better at playing the pass defense, and get better in the run game, which we've got to get better at it in both those areas.
You mentioned the energy aspect of the game. Is that one of those particular areas that you really lean on seniors to help build that up and come out with more fire than we had last week, so to speak?
Yeah, I think you got to challenge those guys, but I also think you got to look at several things in pregame, what you want to do in pregame to get their motors running a little more, and how you want to get those guys their juices going and get them going a little harder and a little faster. And we'll look at several things there in pregame that can help us get ready to start the game. And then the other thing, I think they've got to come out themselves, and it's got to be important to them to start at the beginning of the whistle and play at the very beginning. And I think that's a message we've been trying to get across to them. And then it's also the energy that you practice with. And I thought we had a real good practice today, and I thought the energy was better today than it was yesterday. And I think that's what you got to do. You got to continue to build, and peak on Thursday night.
UVA Wise played Virginia-Lynchburg last week, so they're their regular league opponent in UVA Wise. You had a chance to look at some of the tapes from that contest. I'm sure probably may have talked to some of the coaches. what do we know needs to be some specific points that the Mountain Lions have to take care of against this particular team?
Well, one of the things we got to do is the kicking game. I mean, we've got to take care of the kicking game. We let a guy get out the other night. We had 4 guys missed tackles, and we can't do that. But I think their quarterback is going to be an issue for us because the way they moved the ball against Wise was him running it and him scrambling, and I think we got to get him on the ground. I think that's going to be the most important thing defensively, and not give up big plays. And you can't get them give up big plays and get them excited, and you can't let him scramble around. We got to get him on the ground, and then on offense we got to execute better in several areas. And one is, we can't give up the pressure that we gave up last week and let them put pressure on the quarterback like we gave up last week. So we know going in we got to block better, and the old saying, you got to block and tackle, and that's exactly what we got to do. We got to block better and we got to tackle better.
In looking at upcoming schedule, we've got 7 home games. You and I were talking off camera. My goodness, it's been a long time, if forever. As long as you and I have been working together here, I don't just remember us having 7 home games. We've been a few times with 6 home games. We immediately get into league play a week from this Saturday against UVA Wise. From kind of a 10,000-foot view here, Coach, and I'll quickly run down the home schedule for everybody. So it's UVA Wise on the 18th as they come into town. October the 2nd, we're at home against Newberry. Saturday, October 9th, it's homecoming with a 1:30 kickoff against Barton. Then we take the road to Limestone, head down toward Gaffney direction. We come back October the 23rd against Catawba. We go over the ridge to Carson Newman, come back in November, and wrap things up in terms of homestand against Tusculum, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which will be senior day, and then wrap things up on the road at Wingate. 7 big games. Of those 7, 5 of them are league games. You've seen all the preliminary preseason this, preseason that. You're the dean of South Atlantic Conference coaches. What that means is he and I have been around a while. And one of those things is, you know how this league comes together. You know how competitive it is year in and year out. What should we expect this year? Because we've had the COVID run of things. That was kind of a train wreck in different scenarios. So first time back to a full schedule since 2019. What are your feelings of how things are going to be this year, Coach?
I think it's going to be, it's always a great competitive league, and I think it's going to be who survives COVID, who can keep their starters in, who can play each week without losing starters, and play each week with some depth. I think that's going to play into this thing as we go through it. I think every school's going to have to deal with it, and I think the schools that are fortunate enough, and I'm saying fortunate enough, because you're going to have to be fortunate and blessed to get through this thing without any players missing because of COVID. I think that's going to be the key factor. I think as this thing goes out and it starts stretching through the middle and work its way to the end, I think that's going to play a bigger role than anything else this year in our conference.
Well, we have a great opportunity with all of those Lion home games. We certainly reach out to you and say, hey, come be a part of what we're doing. We're at home on Thursday night, and then we'll be back to our usual Saturday afternoon sets. Those go at 1 o'clock with the exception of homecoming. We expect a huge homecoming coming up in October the 9th. It will be a 1:30 kickoff against Barton. One quick thing, Coach, kind of rumbled through my brain because I'd had some folks ask me. So we have Virginia-Lynchburg coming in. Are they kind of NAI equivalent, D1 equivalent, D3 equivalent? How do you, if you fix that in a formula, this equals the.
Yeah, my understanding is they're a D2 opponent.
Okay.
And but you know they played Wise, they play us, then they play Old Dominion. I mean, so they play from D2 up is what they do. They're in the Christian league. There's a Christian league out there, and they're in that, but they're considered a D2 opponent. So, you know, we just got to be ready to play, and I think we got to take care of ourselves and our business, and be ready to play at 7 o'clock and not at 8 o'clock. You know.
As always, we thank you for being part of the Lion Coaches Show. I've said it before. I've said it off camera. I've said it on camera. You've got to look far and wide to find anyone better than Tim Clifton and his staff to take care of these young people. I get to see behind the scenes what really goes on, and they truly build them into quality young men that come back and see us later on. They come back and visit with their families, which is such a great feeling. We'll be back next week and see how things went here for Lion football. Until then, for Lion head football coach Tim Clifton, I'm Stuart Jolley. So long for now.
Hey, MHU on three. 1, 2, 3.
MHU.